Hey everyone, how's it going? So yeah, a few weeks ago I made a video on cleaning a Nintendo 64 cartridge, so this is kind of a follow-up to that, where now we're going to be cleaning a Nintendo 64 controller. This is one that I just barely bought today from someone who was selling their Nintendo 64 stuff. So this controller, it's a little dirty. There's some like gunk and stuff around here. You can kind of see here on the start button too. However, just filling the buttons, it feels like they all are clicking everything, so at least they're not so sticky that it's, they're not going in. But yeah, we'll still clean it out. Yeah, this controller actually doesn't look like it's had a ton of use. The control sticks actually is fairly tight. It goes back to the center pretty easily, but yeah, we'll still be cleaning it out. So yeah, came with the third-party memory card too. All right. So anyway. So the first thing you have to do is you have to obviously take the controller apart. It's pretty simple. There's on the Nintendo 64 controller, it's just a Phillips screw. So yeah, just make sure you have a screwdriver that is the right size. Oh, and you know what? I actually grabbed my tri-wing screwdriver. Yeah, that would be good for Joy-Cons, but not for this. So hold on one second. Okay, there we go. That's better. So yeah, make sure you're using a Phillips and not a tri-wing screwdriver. And just have one that's small enough or it fits in there, but big enough where you're not stripping out the screws. So yeah, I think this one's a pretty decent size. You can see there's just let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws on here, and then there's also 2 smaller screws in here where the memory cards go. So anyway, yeah, I'm just going to take out all these screws with the wave of my hand. Wow, and just like that, all the screws are out. Pretty cool trick, huh? Yeah, I actually did end up grabbing a smaller screwdriver for these for this smaller size of screw here. So yeah, having the right tool is pretty important. But anyway, now the controller just come apart, and I'm actually going to open it with it facing down, because if I open it facing up, then these buttons are going to potentially fall around everywhere. So yeah, if you'll open it this way, then it's nice and clean, easy way to keep the buttons in place. Yeah, it actually looks like this controller is a little dirty in here. There's a lot of dust and stuff, even like some hair and some. That looks like a mealworm. Wow. Yeah. So yeah, I think this was a good controller to clean out after all. So anyway, what I'm going to do is probably just on this plastic. I guess there's a few different ways you could do it, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some of these Q-tips with this 99% isopropyl alcohol, so it leaves 0 residue. And yeah, I'm just going to kind of clean around this. Actually, I think what I'll do first is I'm going to take a napkin, or you can use a paper towel or whatever. I'm just going to clean out some of this big stuff, just because it doesn't need to be too fine. And realistically, you could probably, even just on this plastic, you could just take some soap and some water and then just let it dry. Just make sure it's completely dry before you put it back together. But yeah, this isopropyl alcohol dries really fast, so yeah, I'm just going to go around here and try to get this as much as I can, some of the big stuff, and then and then in here I'm going to take the Q-tip and just kind of spill a little bit too much out there. Kind of get into some of these crevices in here that are a little harder to reach. Actually, there is a metal spring in here. I don't know if it would rust or not, so maybe it wouldn't be a good idea to use water. I'm not entirely sure about that. I always just use the isopropyl alcohol. So yeah, anyway, I'll just go around. I guess I don't need to show you me cleaning everything, but I'll just go around here and clean everything. Oh, and also another thing too, I've seen this controller is actually pretty clean on these buttons, but I've seen it before where there's a lot of gunk, like on these shoulder buttons. Same thing with the face buttons, which we'll see later. But yeah, just make sure you clean really well around here. So yeah, you never know you find Again, this controller, at least as far as gunk on the shoulder buttons, is pretty clean. It just has a bunch of weird stuff inside, like the mealworms. How on earth did mealworms get in here? And there was like crumbs and stuff. So anyway, so yeah, that's how we're gonna do this. I'll pause the video while I clean this out. Okay, there we go. Looks pretty clean. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention too, so you can pop this Z button up, and yeah, you can clean in here too. So if you have a sticky Z button, yeah, just clean around here. Yeah, but yeah, this one again didn't feel too sticky, but yeah, it actually didn't feel sticky at all, but we'll still give it a good cleaning. Yeah, and same thing on the outside here too. This controller actually feels pretty clean on the outside, but you know, sometimes these controllers can, you know, like if someone was playing with, you know, while eating like chips or something, then the controllers can get pretty greasy. So yeah, it's good to just take some isopropyl alcohol and just clean the outside. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do with this controller is I actually ordered one of those 8-bit Nintendo 64 wireless mods for the controller. So yeah, I think I'm going to take that mod and put it in this controller eventually. So yeah, this will be good to clean. So anyway, now that we have the back clean, I'm just going to set it down here on the ground, and then let's go on to here. Oh, another thing too I forgot to mention was in these crevices too, I've seen controllers with a ton of gunk, just like where the people like hold their hands on it. Again, oh, actually this does have some gunk. You can see it's coming up there. So yeah, it's always good to just clean all that out. Yeah, this is a pretty deep cleaning. Obviously this gunk on the side isn't going to really like make it so you can't play, like so you can't use the controller, but it does make it look nicer. Yeah, there actually is a fair amount of gunk on here. You can see all that white stuff, that white gunk. So anyway, I'll just use some alcohol and just clean that out, and then we'll start looking at the buttons. Okay, so I just wanted to do a quick update. So I was trying to get some of this these crumbs or whatever out of here, or whatever the skunk is, and yeah, it was kicked on there pretty good, so I wasn't able to quite get it with a Q-tip or a paper towel. So I ended up just using some of these tweezers. I'm sure you could use like I don't know, just anything that's sharp, you know, even like a kitchen fork or something. But yeah, just something that's, you know, has a point on it, and yeah, you just don't want to scrape away at the plastic. But yeah, just if you do have some grime on there that's not coming up with the alcohol, then that might be a good alternative, just to kind of break it up. And then yeah, and then once it's broken up, then I'll take the alcohol again with the paper towel and just go over that again. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, on this isopropyl alcohol, I think it's usually good practice to put the lid back on when you're not using it, just because it evaporates pretty quickly. So not like your whole bottle's gonna evaporate if you leave the lid off for a while, but I mean, it will be used up more. It'll be used up quicker than you might like if you leave the lid off. So yeah, so you can see that's a lot cleaner than it was before. So yeah, anyway, just gonna keep going around here and yeah, just make sure it's all cleaned up. Okay, there we go. That's a lot cleaner now. So yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect either, but you know, just get most of the gunk out of there. Alright, so now I'm just gonna kind of clean in here too. There's just some dust, just kind of build up in some of these crevices. Alright, yeah, it's probably good enough. Okay, and then the R button. The R button actually fell off already, so yeah, we'll just do the same thing, just kind of clean around here. It's kind of what we did on the bottom of the controller. Take off the L button too. Yeah, just kind of clean around here, just make sure everything's not sticky. Let's grab a little bit more of this. Yeah, with these, you also on these rubber membranes, you want to just clean around these too, because sometimes these can get sticky. Yeah, and again, depending on how dirty your controller is, you can decide how deep of a cleaning you want to do, obviously. But yeah, it can get sticky around here too sometimes. And then occasionally, even like the pads down here, so you can actually pull off these membranes, and then the actual electrical pads, these can also get sticky sometimes, like if you have like, I don't know, like if someone's eating like watermelons or drinking some orange juice or something, they spill on here, yeah, it's pretty easy to get orange juice or whatever, something sticky down there. So yeah, I just want to clean these membranes and everything so then the buttons don't stick. Yeah, and then just make sure you don't forget to put them back on. Yeah, they really only go on one way, so it's pretty hard to mess it up. Yep, there you go. All right. Let's make sure it's stick down there all the way. Okay, cool. Yeah, and then same thing with these L and R buttons. So these actually just kind of pop off here. And yeah, we'll just take that off and just clean these membranes, or this electrical pad. I'll clean the other side of this rubber membrane too. Yeah, and same thing with this. Let's see, was this the R button, I think? Yeah, just gotta clean that back. Same thing with this. Again, this controller is already fairly clean. It's not perfect, but yeah, I've seen a lot worse for sure. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, and then these just kind of pop back on just like that. And yeah, then after that, then we'll do the front buttons. Yep, there we go. Okay. All right, so now for the front buttons, probably the best thing to do, you could try to dislodge this. You could take out this cable, and the same thing with the Z button. But I think it's easier just to take it all out as one piece, and so just take out these screws. You just have to be careful because you don't want to take out this black screw, because this actually holds in there's a spring inside of this joystick. And so yeah, if you take this out, it'll spring out, and then you have to push it back together to, put it back together. So anyway, and we could clean out the joystick too. This one isn't too bad of condition, but yeah, the joystick can get a lot of like plastic flakes in there. So if you ever see that white dust in a well-used Nintendo 64 control stick, yeah, that's the plastic of the bottom of the control stick grinding into this gray plastic here. Well, I guess it's not technically this gray plastic. There's a plastic bowl inside there that it grinds in. But anyway, I don't think it's really too necessary to clean out that dust though, because I mean, I guess we can clean out the dust in here a little bit. You can see there's some dust in here. So yeah, you could take it in here and clean it out. But as far as taking apart the whole thumbstick and clean out the insides, you can if you want, but I don't know. It's kind of, I mean, it's still going to grind away because it's just a kind of a bad design. Yeah, anyway, I still want to do another video where I show my mod on how to fix that. But anyway, maybe that'll be another day. But yeah, so took out those 3 screws, and then all right, and then this just pops off. Yeah, and you saw I dislodged this cable too. Yep, so there you go. Just yeah, nice and easy. No need to force anything. Oh yeah, you can see a lot of gunk on that start button. Look at that. Yeah, let's see what the main board looks like. Oh yeah, there's the membrane for the start button. Yeah, it's pretty dirty. So yeah, we'll just clean that off. So yeah, so on this one, yeah, definitely want to make sure you're using the alcohol on here. Definitely don't use water. And then I also recommend using these cotton swabs instead of the paper towels, just because the paper towels, they leave residue. So yeah, we just don't want any residue on these buttons because we want to perform at optimal, or we just want an optimal performance. But yeah, I'll just clean off, yeah, just around here and stuff. So all these buttons. Here's the D-pad over here too. Oh, and by the way, sometimes I can see some of the dirt that's coming off there. But yeah, sometimes on these boards, there's like flux, like right here. It looks like there's a little bit of flux. So like if you clean that off, let's see if it'll show up. Yeah, I don't know if that's showing up on the camera, but it's slightly yellow. You don't have to clean off the flux. That's just what they use to when they did the soldering. So yeah, don't worry about if there's yellow flux on there. But you can see like right here, there's some gunk. Yeah, no, some sort of white gunky stuff got spilled on here at one time. Looks like it went through the start button. It kind of just spilled around here on this whole board. So yeah, I'll just kind of clean that off. So I'll pause the video while I go through here. But yeah, and even if you want to, you could even take this isopropyl alcohol and like if you put this on a plate, you could actually pour it on here and then clean it off, and then obviously just make sure it's dry before you turn it back on, or you can just do what I'm doing, like, you know, just use the Q-tips and just go around here. But anyway, I'm going to pause the video while I clean this. Okay, there we go. I think I got that white gunk off of there. Yeah, and same thing, you can kind of clean around here too. Oh yeah, and you can also clean on the actual control stick. Yeah, sometimes that can get greasy too. But yeah, I think this board looks pretty good. So, oh, looks like this cable's actually a little dirty too, so this one I probably can just use a paper towel. I have to get some more alcohol in there, but yeah, you don't have to necessarily clean the cable unless it's you know, gunky and stuff. But yeah, that's coming off a little bit, but you know, I'll probably work on that a little bit later. But yeah, what you do want to clean though, for sure, is this part. So these buttons especially can get sticky. So we'll kind of see what they are looking like here. So yeah, we already know this start button had a ton of gunk on it. Yeah, look at all that. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it almost looks like battery acid or something. But yeah. So anyway, we'll definitely clean that out. So yeah, this is pretty standard stuff. Let's just kind of look and see what the D-pad is looking like. Yeah, it doesn't look terribly dirty, although this side does a little dusty. But yeah, anyway, just kind of do the same thing we did before. Just kind of clean out all this gunk in here. Possibly use the tweezers if it doesn't dislodge. Yeah, it looks like it's coming off pretty good. So anyway, pause the video again while I clean all this stuff out. Okay, yeah, so kind of clean that out a little bit. Looks like there's still a little bit more on this side. Yeah, make sure you check all the sides and stuff. Yeah, I'll keep working on that. And then you can also see where these C buttons were. Looks like there's some more of that white gunk in there. So yeah, anyway, yeah, just make sure you check all around here. And it looks like even where the control stick was, there was some of that white gunk. So yeah, I'm not sure what spilled on this controller, but yeah, something nasty. Anyway, looks like there's some of this Nintendo here too, this Nintendo symbol. So yeah, I'll clean the front of this too. But anyway, I just wanted to show you make sure you check all the circles and, you know, openings and everything. Yeah, so anyway, I'll keep working on that. And then yeah, same thing as like what we did before, you know, cleaning these different membranes and stuff. So yeah, just make sure those are all clean. And then same things around these buttons. You can see there's more of that white stuff. So yeah, just making sure it's all clean all around here. Yeah, and don't be afraid to change your Q-tip every once in a while. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, same thing with the C buttons, but yeah, I'll pause the video while I keep cleaning that stuff. Okay, there we go. I think I got most of that white stuff off. There's still a little bit on here, but yeah, but the most of it is off. So, you know, again, I don't think there's too much need to be overly. I don't know. I don't think you have to go overkill on this necessarily. But anyway, let's go ahead and put these buttons back together. So these C buttons are all keyed, so they only go in one slot. So yeah, you just kind of have to see which is which. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, and it's good that they're keyed too because they're slanted slightly differently to match the plastic case. And then yeah, same thing with these the A and B button. Those are also keyed, so which is good. So you can only put them in the right way. Yep. Just keep on turning it until it goes in there. And same thing with the start button. Nice. And then the D-pad is also keyed. You see it's got this little slot on here. So yeah, just put that in right there. Alright, and then this thing is not keyed. And I actually don't remember, I don't think it really matters which way it goes though. Yeah. I guess there are some numbers here though, so I guess we could try to put those facing up. So yeah, it looks like there's an 18 and a 4, so I'll just put it facing up. Yeah, make sure these black parts are down because that's what actually connects onto the controller board. Yeah, just push that down all the way. Okay, and then here's the start button. Looks like this one isn't keyed either, so let's see if there's any numbers that show us which way it goes. Yeah, there are a few numbers, so yeah, we'll put those numbers right up as well. They're really small, and again, it probably doesn't matter if you put it on upside down. Okay, now this one, however, is keyed because obviously the C buttons aren't the same as the A and B buttons. So yeah, so this is going to go like this. Actually, I don't know if this one's keyed necessarily, but it obviously will only fit. I guess it is kind of keyed because the C buttons will obviously only fit over the C buttons, and same as the A and B. So yeah, just make sure the black is on the bottom on all those. Okay, great. All right, so now we're going to take this board here, just kind of fit it back over here, just like that. Yeah, do it like this, upside down so the buttons don't fall back out. It seems like putting it together is always a little trickier than taking it apart because you have to get everything to line up correctly, but yeah, just take your time and yeah, don't force anything. Okay, alright, it feels like it's down there pretty good. Okay, and then we'll fix the shoulder buttons here. L and R buttons. Just kind of push those in just like that. Yep. Okay, and then before we put the L and R buttons in, since those can easily fall out, let's go ahead and screw in these gold screws here for the control stick. I'm using my smaller screwdriver now. Oh, I guess you can't really see what I'm doing. There we go. Yeah, N64 controller is probably my favorite controller. And it's probably mostly just because it's the controller that I had when I was a kid a lot. We also had an Intellivision, but yeah, it was really going from the Intellivision to the N64 was pretty mind-blowing. So yeah, I have a lot of good memories of N64. Don't get me wrong, the Intellivision's really cool too, but anyway. Alright, so now with this cord, this is always kind of tricky for me to remember how it goes, but yeah, you just kind of have to, so you can see it's still kind of bent to the way it's supposed to go, but yeah, you just have to have it go around these plastic things and then go out the back here just like that. So yeah, yep, looks like there's still some more of that white stuff on the cord. Let's try to get that. Oh yeah, and then you can see there's two little plastic things right here too that this goes down. So yep, yeah, just like that. That should be good. Okay, so now let's put on the L and R buttons. So let's see, so it looks like, so L goes on this side, right? Yeah. Okay, and then this one is R. You can see there's this little foot or whatever, little peg that sticks out that, yeah, just goes in this hole. Alright, oh, looks like I didn't get this membrane in all the way. Yeah, just make sure you check to make sure this is all in. Let's check this one real quick. Yeah, that one looks good. Yeah. So, yeah, it'd be unfortunate to have to take apart the controller and then have to fix something. Might as well fix it right now. Okay. Alright, so there's that. So that should be good. So now, before we put on all the screws on the bottom, I'm just going to put this back on. Yeah. Should just, yep, there we go. Just kind of pop right on here. You can see that there's these long plastic things that go in these screw holes on the other side. So yeah, you just have to kind of line that up. Same thing with these, the memory card here. So yeah, there's this long plastic here that has to go through here. So it's a little tricky to get all the holes lined up at the same time, but yeah, just kind of wiggling it a little bit and just kind of looking and seeing, feeling where there's tension, and yeah, just kind of putting it back together. Alright, I think I'll pause the video while I work on this. Okay, so I figured out why it wasn't going together before. Let me take it off again. Okay, so this cord, I had it going over this black plastic right here, but actually supposed to go on the side. So yeah, now it's fitting together. So anyway, yeah, just little things like that are easy for me to mess up on. Okay, so yeah, so now it's, yep, that's going together pretty good. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of hold it together just with my hands. I'm just going to kind of feel the buttons, make sure they are all clicking in okay. Yeah, feels good. Z button too. Alright, great. So now, you could try to just test it out real quick before you put in the rest of the screws. Just to be sure everything's working. It's usually good practice, but I'm feeling kind of lucky / lazy right now. So I'm just going to screw in all the screws, and maybe I'll regret it later, but anyway, I'm going to get these back screwed in. So yeah, do the magic hand again. Okay, and there you have it. I'll put back together. Alright. Oh, and by the way, when you're putting these screws in, make sure you don't tighten them too much, because just remember they are just going in plastic, so yeah, you don't want to break the plastic on the controllers. Just do it enough where they're tight, but not, overly tight. But yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and try pulling it in and see how it works. Alright. I've got the camera back there. Hey everyone. Alright, so yeah, this is actually, so yeah, that controller came with this Nintendo 64. I guess this guy was just selling his old system and everything, so yeah, we'll try out his system as well and see how it works. He said he fired it up yesterday, so yeah, supposedly it should work. Oh, this right, audio RCA jack is a little bent, so we might just be doing mono for now. I'll have to repair that. Yeah, it's not really. There we go. Got it eventually. Alright. Okay, we'll just plug in the 64 here. So yeah, hoping this will work. I'm always a little nervous when I buy used stuff, but I guess it was working for him yesterday, so it should work for me. There we go. Got it plugged in. And yeah, it came with a few different games too. It actually came with an extra gray controller as well. Yeah, it came with 1080 snowboarding, which I already have, Tony Hawk, which I also already have, but I like to have extras because then I can take them around with me when I travel. However, I do not have this game, Xena Warrior Princess. So yeah, sounds interesting. Is it pronounced Xena, or I know in Spanish they pronounce it China, so I don't know. Not entirely sure. Alright, let's see what happens. Turn on this JVC D series. Probably have to change the input. Second to warm up there. Alright, pretty sure this is video. Oh, it's input 3. Okay. Let's put down here. I guess I do have a controller for this TV, but let's do it this way. This is one thing I find annoying with the JVC TVs is that you have to go through this menu to change the input. Okay, there we go. There's video 3. Let's turn it off. Okay. Alright, let's test it out. Let's see what happens. Alright, it looks like it's working. Okay, it looks like you do need that controller pack, so I guess let me go run and grab that real quick. Alright, there we go. Got the controller pack that also came with the 64. Oh yeah, just showing this real quick. So yeah, this set also came with this gray controller and then also this. I think this is just a. Not sure if this is one of those rumble pack and memory pack devices, but it's definitely a rumble pack, possibly a memory pack. But anyway, we use this one, so just turn off the 64 real quick. Plug that in. Alright, let's see if this works. Alright, so it says it's a damaged controller pack. So we'll just do repair, I guess. Okay, repair failed. Alright, well, alright. Well, anyway, this controller pack might not be working, so, but it seems like the controller's working. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I have no idea what this game will be like. Looks interesting. Xena has fought fiercely to save stolen talisman of fate. In the midst of heated battle, both have laid their hands on the talisman and claimed control. Yeah, just look at that for a second. Okay, Xena. Oh, there you go. It is pronounced Xena in English. Alright. Oh, is this a fighting game? Oh, it's a fighting game. Interesting. I thought this would be like the PlayStation game, where it's like a story-driven thing. But yeah, it looks like this is a fighting game. Okay. Well, alright, anyway. Well, the controller seems like it's working good, so yeah, all the buttons are doing stuff. I don't know how to play this game, but yeah, it seems like it's working. I guess the one thing we can try real quick is I'll go grab another memory pack, and I don't know, maybe the battery's bad on that one that the guy sold me, but let me go grab another memory pack and we'll see if it works. Okay. Alright, so yeah, if you saw my video I did a few months ago where I tested this memory pack with the Sony battery. It was still working. It's never been replaced, so it should still work. I mean, it's only been a few months, so. Alright, so it says a valid control pack with at least one free note and one free page is needed to save. Alright. Okay, so looks like it is reading it. Yeah, okay, yeah, so it looks like it's working on here. So yeah, I was able to continue, so yeah. All right, great. So yeah, looks like this control is working. So anyway, there you go. That's how you clean one of these Nintendo 64 controllers. So yeah, hope this video is helpful, and yeah, guess we'll talk to you later. Let me know if you have anything else you want to try, and yeah, stay tuned. Yeah, like I said, I'll probably be doing the 8-bit wireless mod on this controller, see what that's like. It should be coming in the mail here in a few weeks. And then also this black Nintendo 64 that the guy gave me. I think I'm going to do a HDMI mod on it, but I'm going to be doing a cheaper one. Oh wow, this is a later... Wow, this is actually a pretty late revision of the N64. Yeah, it looks really new too. But anyway, yeah, I'll be doing an HDMI mod on it. There's like a $40 one you can buy on Amazon. So yeah, I'm gonna try that, see what that looks like. So anyway, yeah, subscribe to the channel to see all that cool stuff and see what it looks like. And yeah, well, guess we'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.